Imagine, a player written off by Juventus becomes, a year later, a key element of a renewed Liverpool. Federico Chiesa, recently broken and uncertain, is now regaining his status as a top-level player. His speed has increased by 12%. He's in the top 10% in Europe for progressive carries, and Arne Slot simply says, "I see a completely different Federico." Van Dijk adds, "He's earned this moment." How did it happen that a footballer who played only 104 minutes in the Premier League last year is now turning into a weapon in Slot's system? What has changed in his approach, tactics, and psychology? And is Chiesa really becoming the new face of Liverpool's right flank after the Salah era? Here's the story of transformation, from being written off in Turin to becoming important at Anfield. This is the video you asked for in the comments, and each of you can request the next video. To do that, subscribe to our channel and leave your suggestions in the comments. Federico Chiesa was born in Florence on October 25, 1997, into a football family. His father, Enrico Chiesa, was a well-known striker who played for Parma, Fiorentina, and the Italian national team. A true legend of Italian football, so it's no surprise that his son drew a lot of attention from the press and fans. Young Federico grew up in an environment where football wasn't just a game. It was part of family culture. He was ready for pressure and attention from childhood. For him, fame wasn't a luxury, but a part of life. He took his first steps at the local club US Settignanese, where, according to club president Maurizio Romei, he was a quiet boy but always fully focused on the field. From a young age, Chiesa stood out not only for his technique but also for his work ethic. He played on the wing, had explosive speed, and could shoot with both feet, a rarity among young players. Education was an important part of his development. Federico studied at the International School of Florence, speaks fluent English, and even dreamed of becoming a physicist. In one interview, he recalled, "My mom always said, if you study well, you play well. Education helps you think rationally. Even under pressure from the media or fans, that discipline and self-control became the foundation of his professional growth." In 2016, Chiesa debuted for Fiorentina in a match against Juventus. He was only 18. At that time, Fiorentina, coached by Paulo Sousa, was one of the main talking points in Italy. The team combined explosive football with solid defense, and Fede became one of its symbols. Over 4 seasons, he became one of the most notable young players in Serie A. More than 150 matches, 34 goals, and 18 assists. His game was marked by high intensity, 7.2 dribble attempts per match, around 0.25 expected assists, numbers that at the time were at the level of Europe's top wingers. Analysts described him as the Italian prototype of a modern wide universal player. Speed, directness, pressing work, and defensive contribution. In 2020, Federico moved to Juventus, first on loan and later permanently. It was there that he experienced 2 contrasting seasons. At first, triumph. Decisive goals, a leadership role at Euro 2020, Italy's victory in the final against England. Then, catastrophe, a torn ACL in January 2022. The injury sidelined him for almost a year. After recovering, Chiesa couldn't regain his former explosiveness. His stats dropped from 0.32 expected goals per match to 0.18. Coaches changed his positions, right, left, even as a second striker, but stability never came. Juventus' new coach, Thiago Motta, who bet on young players, didn't see a place for him in the system. In the summer of 2024, Chiesa was placed in the so-called bomb squad, the list of players allowed to find new clubs. That's when Liverpool appeared on the horizon. The club was now led by Arne Slot, a coach with a philosophy of active pressing, a high defensive line, and quick vertical attacks. According to Sky Sports, the Red Scouts had been following Chiesa since his Fiorentina days. The Italian's contract was expiring in a year, and a transfer worth 15 million euros looked like a smart deal. Especially since sporting director Richard Hughes, who grew up in Italy, knew the Serie A market well and personally handled negotiations. Federico is at a great age. He has experience but hasn't reached his peak yet. He's a player who adds quality, not just quantity, said Arne Slot at the time. The 2024/25 season was almost a failure for Chiesa. He played only 104 minutes in the Premier League, starting just once, in a match against Brighton when Liverpool had already secured the title. There were several reasons. First, physical fitness. According to Opta, in September 2024, his average running distance per match was only 8.4 kilometers, while the team average was 10.2. Second, competition. Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, Nunez, Jota. Third, the psychological barrier after injury. Chiesa himself said in an interview with ESPN, "After an injury, you start doubting your own body. You need time to feel confident again." However, Arne Slot continued to believe in him. Behind the scenes, he noted Federico's discipline in training, attention to detail, and desire to adapt to the new system. The summer of 2025 became the turning point. After a full preseason and work with fitness coach Ruben Peters, Chiesa got back into shape. They focused on restoring his main strength, speed. Fede worked tirelessly in the gym, and it paid off. His sprint test showed a 12% improvement compared to the previous season. The first bright moment came in the game against Bournemouth when Chiesa, coming off the bench, scored the winning goal in the 88th minute. Captain Virgil van Dijk said then, "Fede has great character. We all know how hard he works. He deserved this moment." And Slot admitted, "I see a completely different Federico. His intensity, involvement, and willingness to help the team. Everything has changed." From that moment, Chiesa began to appear regularly, first as a substitute, then in the starting lineup. From a tactical point of view, Chiesa became a key element in Slot's flexible system. The coach uses a 4-2-3-1 formation, where wingers have two main tasks: initiate the first wave of pressing, forcing the opponent into mistakes, and quickly move the ball forward after winning possession. Chiesa is ideal for this role. According to FBref, in the 2025/26 season, he ranks in the top 10% of European players for progressive carries, more than 7.3 per match. He is also in the 86th percentile for successful dribbles and the 83rd for total passes. At Liverpool, he has started drifting more into central areas, creating overloads with Salah or Jota. In the League Cup match against Southampton, he provided 2 assists to Isak and Ekitike, showing sharpness in the final third. Slot remarked, "It's no coincidence that it was Federico who created the first goal. He worked the hardest, pressed the most, and was involved in most attacks." Chiesa has never been a diva. Those around him describe him as quiet but obsessively professional. After training, he often stays for another half hour to work on limited touch passing and finishing from angles. He's never been involved in scandals. You can check for yourself. In the LFC Live app, which compiles all reports about the team and players, there isn't a single controversial story about Chiesa. There are about Salah, Isak, Van Dijk, but not Fed. Don't believe it? Check the link in the description and pinned comment. According to analysts from EPL Index, his main evolution lies in his off-ball decision-making, moving into free spaces and creating passing lanes for teammates. While at Juventus, he spent 34% of his time as a forward. At Liverpool, over 60% of his actions happen in wide half spaces. His interaction with the right fullback is usually based on quick position exchanges. It worked with Trent and should also work with Frimpong, given Jeremy's attacking instincts. Chiesa often opens up space for the fullback to cut inside while dragging the opponent wide to create room for a pass into the box. By mid-autumn 2025, Chiesa's numbers were his best since Fiorentina. 0.42 expected goal contributions per 90 minutes, 2.7 successful dribbles, 0.9 key passes per match, and only 9.5 losses, the lowest among all attacking players on the team. These numbers show that he has not only adapted, but become a system player. In one interview, former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy said, "Chiesa looks dangerous every time he plays. I think it's time to give him a run of games in the starting lineup." Murphy emphasized that Cody Gakpo, who was a starter last season, has lost confidence, while Chiesa shows aggression and determination. Despite being in the spotlight, Federico leads a calm life. He's married to Lucia Brondelli, an Italian model he's been with since his Fiorentina days. They have a 3-year-old son. Everyone who works with Chiesa says family is his main emotional balance. He's not one of those footballers who loudly promote themselves on social media. His posts show training, matches, a few family photos. In one caption he wrote, "Football is part of my life, but not all of it. The main thing is to remain human." This maturity, according to club analysts, helped him adapt faster to English life, both on and off the pitch. Arne Slot's philosophy is based on three principles: high intensity, tactical discipline, and quick positional recovery. Chiesa fits all three. His pressures per 90 is 18.1, above average for Premier League wingers. He creates an average of 0.6 chances after a dribble, putting him in the top 4% of attacking players in Europe. Against defensive opponents, Chiesa has become the game changer, either through a dribble or a pass. That's exactly what Liverpool lacked after Luis Diaz's departure. Diaz gave us pressing energy, like Mane once did, and Chiesa has that too, said Arne Slot after the Chelsea match. His own words after the win over Southampton: "I play for a top club. If you don't want competition, go to another team. But I want to fight. Competition makes you better." Analysts note that with Salah's gradual decline, Chiesa is becoming the natural successor on the right wing. His versatility allows him to play on the left or behind the striker, adding to Liverpool's tactical flexibility. Federico Chiesa is an example of transformation where technique meets character and talent meets discipline. From an injured player written off in Turin to a key figure in building the new Liverpool. His journey isn't a story of miracles or magic, it's a story of systematic work. He adapted, and we accepted and loved him. So let's support Fede on his hard road to the top. Like this video and leave a comment about what you think of the Italian, because he should know that you will never walk alone.